You know when you just like can't stop smiling because something makes you really happy? That's this. Taylor Swift's voice is like nostalgia to me. I always make the joke that my family's a Taylor Swift cult, which might be a little bit intense, but like I grew up on her. When I was 9 years old, my brother grabbed me by the hand and took me downstairs, set me on his waterbed, and had this old school laptop, his very first, he just started college, propped up, and he made me watch this music video. And it was Love Story. And since then, every album that has come out since her, like, I didn't watch Taylor Swift when it first came out, but Love Story on all her mainstream songs, I have watched as they came out. I can remember when I heard those things. I can remember the terrible dances my brother do and like my sister singing along, and my parents, even though they're not like music people, they still know it and relate it. My sister-in-law is the biggest fan, and it's something that with her, my sister-in-law, and my best friend, the three of us all grew up together, and one of them married my brother, so like that's part of my family, and just like the people that have been with me the longest in my life, it means so much. So her voice is just like nostalgia. And Cardigan, I just on first watch has so many like reminisces so many things and so many different allusions to older work, and it is gorgeously, the cinematology is outstanding, and I love it. It's a song like Lover, I liked it. I also liked Reputation. Both of them I enjoyed, but most of them it didn't give me the same power as a lot of her other songs. Like I still enjoy them because I love her voice and they're fun, but they're not songs that spoke to me as nearly to my core. And I don't know if Cardigan, I feel like Cardigan will, and it's just like I felt that smile creeping up into my face that I could not contain. And it just makes me really happy. And now I get to listen to all of her other songs, and there's a lot. And I love that she's kind of reminiscingly going back to like a love story. Like there's some really interesting parallels to Cardigan and that. And at the same time, we still see this more mature look. And if you ever want Taylor Swift analysis, you have to ask my sister-in-law. She will sit you down and she'll go over every lawn, every stage, how everything parallels the life of Taylor Swift. Like my family is slightly obsessive. Like I have all the deluxes because my brothers just buy them for me. I'm like, mostly I love Taylor Swift because of their love, but there's also part of it that it's so intertwined with so many of my moments. And I can see those. And I can also see the whimsy and the fantasy and the fantasy and that intertwined with reality. And it's kind of like an Into the Woods kind of aspect. And I can't wait to rewatch it. And I really hope that all of these songs like are going to be just as good as this one. At this point, it's kind of hard to tell if it's endearing how many books I have stacked in the back, or it's just kind of embarrassing at this point. I really liked the one. There is something less potent about her music now. Like it keeps it a more softer melody, which isn't necessarily bad. But I liked this one. The greatest loves of all are over now, which is a great line. I like this melodic, like pondering of the past because like I can tell that like this is my guess. It's about Jake Gyllenhaal. Like the idea that like come back, be here, um the moment I knew, like it's kind of like feels reminiscent of that, or like a Joe Jonas kind of like something like that. Like even Cardigan had like the last train, and like there's an interesting aspects, you can see the things. And you know what, it's one of my favorite songs and I'm forgetting it, the one where she's dancing for all that we had, which is such a beautiful song, and it's like a reminiscing, and this is a beautiful looking, and it's like I'm sorry for like digging up these graves again, but like I don't know, maybe it's because this is part of my like journey. Again, I'm just gonna reference my sister-in-law throughout this a lot because she's the person I talk about Taylor Swift the most with, and the idea that even though Taylor Swift is significantly older than both of us, it often feels like her music isn't often in the places where I am. And I think that for me, Lover didn't sit as well with where I am. Like The Man really worked with me and a few others, but like it was very happy, and in the time like I'm single and have been single for a while, but this so far is kind of looking more at the like, obviously this is one of the first times where she's written an album and came out of it. Like Lover was like her, it's not a breakup album for the first time, and this one is kind of, I've been in a secure relationship for a while now I'm looking back at my life and how I got here and the loves that I lost. And even though I'm still single, I can kind of relate to, you know, I've been single for so long that I'm kind of okay, and I can look back and be like, I sometimes wonder if I did one thing different, if everything would be different today, which is such a cool aspect. But there's no longer that like longing as so much as like, that would be fun, that would be interesting. Pondering more than potency or poignancy, which is an interesting thing, but it's how I think I feel, and I relate to this really well. I guess I'm talking more about my feelings than the actual songs, but that's the kind of content we have here. I really liked The Last American Dynasty. I was like, I love the story, but I have like no idea. It kind of feels like the one she wrote about the Kennedys, which was really cute. And it kind of felt the same, except for it was like dark and like had the like Carrie Underwood, she killed him vibes. And then she's like, I did it. I bought the house. And I was like, this is cool. And I like it. And I think it's one I could listen to a lot. I really, really love story songs. Also, I forgot to mention about the one, it like had this weird aspect of it kind of going back to her roots of like fairy-esque, soft, innocent. But then there's like also swearing, which almost sounds abrupt. And this kind of did the same thing, but not with swearing, being like, you know, they were nice, but gosh. And like, I like it. I like the thing. I kind of wish there was a little bit more musical stuff going on in the back. There's less, there's more, these are all like soft melodies, which are fine. But like, I don't need like, I don't know, I want a song that I feel like I can like belt, you know? Or just like sing fervently. That's what I want. But I really like it. I like this one. 3 for 3. I'm officially in love. So much in love. Okay, I'm not in frame. How do we work? Okay. You know what I was like saying, like soulful? Like, I wasn't saying soulful, but I was like fervently saying, like, I don't need it to be like a bop or like angry. I just need it to be like powerful. And that's what Exile is. Like, I feel like in the recent ones, she's kind of held back the full soulfulness of her voice to kind of make it more poppy, which is fine. And I'm fine with that in her like poppy, and it can be like cool and like passionate, but like I don't feel it. Like I don't want to like sing it. Like I was singing Exile before we even like we got to like the second chorus, and I was already like love. And also like I love that indie folk. Like that's kind of, that's what I love that a lot. This is me going toward that kind of music. I listen to kind of like all kind of music, but like that, it kind of gives me like a little bit of like reminding me like it's just it speaks to my soul. Like you're not my homeland anymore. Like the warning signs, I gave you so many signs, I never saw the signs. It's like kind of like the last time, and it's like such, and that's also what I was kind of thinking with Cardigan as well a little bit. And the one, but this is like, it didn't give me the like full thing like it gave me in the lyrics, but not musically. Like this musically gave me the thing, and their voices worked so well together, and I felt like Taylor was like really using the full extent of her voice. And like this is a song I could play in the background and just like have it play over and over, and I could get so many inspirations, and it captures something. And also like I do really love the moving, like the fact that even though it repeats it, that is really good, really really good lyric videos with like, and but this one walking in the like forest with just a single man walking, it was good. And the Exile dropping down, like so many aspects. Okay, yeah, like the other songs like made me smile because it's Taylor Swift and there's illusion, but this, the music made me feel so good. And like I felt the wording, and like you know, I have defense, there is none. Like that's, it's good, but it didn't have the punch because of the way that she was singing it. And it's a little bit more simplistic, but this felt like a really good way to look at Exile and to like look at relationships. And I'm in love, and I want to listen to it more, but like there's so many songs to listen to. Am I gonna excessively get more freaky? Probably. There's probably one song I'm gonna not like, because like there's normally one song that I'm like, like you know what I mean. Forgive me, I am so much in love. Also, there's such great lighting. This is a masterpiece. It knows my heart is lighting up. Okay, when I said that, I didn't think that she was using her full like breath And I love the raspiness. Like the most underrated Taylor Swift song, probably, well, Mary Song is very touching, but Haunted, like that beat, like it's not anger, but it works so well. And I saw Tears Ricochet and I was like, I'm going to like this. Obviously I'm gonna like this. And it delivered. I really liked this. I felt like she didn't pull her punches. I felt that she had like, it wasn't in me to go with grace. Like that is such a simple line, and yet it doesn't feel kind of half baked like some of her others, where it's like kind of like Archer, or I think a little bit with the one in some of the lines. Like it felt really poignant, but it felt like it wasn't quite poignant enough. And I thought that this was so good. Like, oh, this is gonna make it so tricky to debate. Like I think this one is again one that I can listen to over and over again, and I will be very happy. I feel like I can't say enough because like I was trying to remember lines, but there was so many of them. And I feel like this is a song I could break down like every lyric for, and I would love it so much. I also feel like I'm almost getting like Joker smile. I'm just sitting there being like, I didn't need to do that for public domain. Anyways, I'm in love. There's so many more songs. This one is definitely up there. But it does sound like Bon Iver's very raspy voice, but still. This is a soul Taylor Swift written thing, which makes it also really powerful. Because, like, I can kind of see that not to say that she shouldn't be writing with people and shouldn't be adapting, but, like, I do notice that I like a lot of the songs she writes alone, or with, like, Elizabeth Kate, something like that. A lot of her ones, but the more people she collaborated with, a lot of the songs I didn't like as much. And I felt like it was less true to her. I don't know. I'm maybe projecting a lot of my own feelings onto her, but like this one was solely written by her, and yes. And again, it kind of looks back at a broken relationship and looks back at that, which is also really cool and seems kind of be looking at her career, looking at the way that she thought people, and I love it. Again, I really like Mirabelle. Do I love it? Mirabelle. Mirable also sounds kind of like adorable. It's a very interesting word, and a word that you don't hear in songs, so I'm very intrigued by her use of it. And I like the inverted lyrics. I like looking on drunk when every part of my broken edges glisten. That's not the lyric at all. I thought it was going to come out a lot better than that. I'm still trying everything. I've never been a natural. All I do is try, try, try. I've never been a believer. I'm still a believer, even though I don't know why. There's so many really poignant lines here. I show every edge of you. And I really like it. I like the aspect of her seeing the reflections of others, but also kind of in relationships, so it can be a very relatable song, but also the idea that you're still trying everything for attention, even after her now being super famous for 12 years, being in the public outlook for 14, 15 at this point. So it's like so long, and yet she's still trying everything. And I think that that says something. I was listening yesterday to Still Learning by Halsey. I really wanted to say Harley. And then I wanted to say Harley. Halsey, my goodness. Otherwise known as Ashley, friend to Payne. Anyways, I think her songs are very interesting because she'll look at that, and she'll look at the aspect of how people perceive her life and also how her life actually looks now. And I feel like this is a very good song for that. The Lucky One is also one of my favorite underrated songs. So good. And looking at the fame, and You're Still On. And this one, it didn't do it quite as much for the last two, but it still brought that aspect there. Falsetto is never going to be completely my thing. Like, it always kind of irks me a little, to be honest. Like, I like the deep, raspy, soulful voice. What was that? 7, for that reason, I feel like off the bat just kind of didn't work that great for me. I feel like she's talking about being 7. And it has some of those lines kind of similar to Cardigan and the one, even though I liked them a lot, they had aspects of them that sounded like they were just there because they were cliches or they worked and not because they had true meaning. It's kind of all over the place, but that could just be me. I could see this on as really coming on to me once I listen to it more, but it's just not being an immediate hit. But for now, not my favorite. Still has some good lines, still like it, but not Love it. A ton of thoughts on August. I thought it was going to be airy and I wasn't going to like it, but I liked it. I'm pretty sure the story about her losing her virginity and maybe her first relationship. It's definitely hits me of teen, almost probably pre-famous, but it might not be. And I like it a lot. Yeah, I don't think it'll be like a song that will have like deep, but I do really like it, and I like the idea of first love and you were never mine, but like the beauty, and I like it. I I'm repeating myself now, reviewing content, but I feel like it's a song that will become one of those songs that like means a lot to me because it's her and it's soft but like catchy in that way. August went by like a bottle of wine, sipped away like a bottle of wine. Like it has cool lyrics, and that seems novel enough that it doesn't seem like a cliche. You know, I see us now, twisted in sheets. And I like the different things that are very true of being in high school and wanting that love. So I feel like it captures that early stage of her career with a very good understanding of where she is now, too, which is very good to see that kind of pondering and reverting back to that self with a more mature look. Am I getting progressively more tired as this night goes on? Yes, but I am dedicated to your well-being of knowing what my thoughts are. Um, this was me trying, and again with August, it hit me, but didn't like consume me. You know what I mean? Like not hit me. Like I liked it, but it didn't like make me smile. It kind of made me think a little bit of Back December, which I love as one of my favorite songs, or like The Story of Us, but like a quieter version of it. And it has similar aspects, and but it kind of incorporates the relationship with also the fame and her trying and like feeling like an open wound and stuff. And maybe that is just about fame or just about relationships, but then it has aspects that it feels like fame considering her few years, and then it also feels very much relationship because it's like talking about I'm missing you. So I feel like it's on, I'll get more nuance the more I listen to it, but I like the quietness, I like the fullness of it, and it has some good lines even if they're not as poignant as some of her others. I really, really like Illicit Affairs. It's the right melody, it's the right story. It has beautiful lyrics that say things wonderfully but without being cliched. I hate cheating, so I'm really, really hoping that this like song is about her relationship with what's his name? I want to call him Aaron, but you know, the guy she's been with for years. He's wonderful. That she never talks about, and that like she purposely kept it secret. And not Jack. Words, whatever. Doesn't matter what his name is. She likes to keep him private. And yeah, I hope that's about that. Because, you know, cheating is one of those things that I have a hard time with. And yeah. But the writing is beautiful and gorgeous and lovely. And that's how I feel about the song. I feel like it captures emotions so well. And also of breakup and what it feels like to not be able to voice that you're missing something you can't have words for because the words and the language and the jokes and the things that you like the culture you made with that person, like the idea that you create yeah kind of your only language and then you have no one to speak it to. And I feel like that's something that's really hard when you're starting over in with a new friendship or with a new relationship, where it can be really hard to feel like there's parts of you that you can't explain to a new person. I really love the way Invisible String works, and you gotta love reading opening in the beginning, and then also Cold was my ex that was to grind, the boys who broke my heart, but now I send their babies presents. I don't know, I just love that so much. I love it, you know, the wounded hearts that brought me to you, like caging demons. I don't know, it has a lot of good lines. I feel like I'll enjoy it even more on second read. It's not a visceral thing, but it's like one of those songs that I feel like come back, be here. Although I do belt that song a lot, or the moment I knew where like it didn't strike me at first, but it will sit there. Because I don't know, it's just I think about this a lot, the strings that connect us, the ways that we connect, and thinking about when our lives intersect and how we intersect with people. It's something that I think a lot. And like she's kind of talking about all the trauma she went through, and then through it all of this and she's fine, but she had to get that angry, she had to get those things, and yeah, I like it a lot. And that line also is golden. The boys who broke my heart, I now send their babies presents. Because that is kind of the way that it's like, it shows growth as well. So good for you, Taylor. So I was listening to Mad Woman, and I was like, oh, it's a Kanye song. I don't think it's a Kanye song. I think it's the douche guy with the record side that tried to steal her credit. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, because it's like, nothing brings you to it like wanting me dead. Also, so like, I remember my hair was doing stuff. Um, Scandal in my house when I was like very young. It was like, in the alternate world of Teardrops in My Guitar, there's a word. And then like last time, I'm pretty sure it was the first time, because I don't think she swore in Reputation. Or no, the first time she kind of talked about sex and stuff was Reputation, like directly. And then she talked about like swearing. And this one, she dropped the F word. F you forever. I was like, that's, she's putting in her choruses, and she's no longer the Taylor. That Taylor is dead. Sorry. I actually did genuinely like this one. I like the depth of her voice. This is the voice that I like. It kind of gave me some like Bertha in the Attic, Jane Eyre vibes. I like it. I like this song a lot. I can feel listening to it, peeling back the records, and as much as like, there's a bop of Forgot You Existed, and there are so many other songs. This is Why You Can't Have Nice Things. Love that song. Some of her like hate ones. This one's got to be almost peak. Like it's good. It's good, and it's not so specific, but darn, it's good. So I've spent this whole time complaining about airy voices and falsetto, and now I'm gonna praise it because it was used really well. In Epiphany, which is a strange one because it's only said a few times and it doesn't really have as much of a chorus, but only a glimpse of relief to understand what you have seen, to make sense of what you've seen, is such a powerful line. As someone who has PTSD and is dealing with very much of a young boy in war, as a doctor, and as someone who does not have time to sleep, it's gorgeous, and it's done in like this haunting lullaby, so it doesn't come off as sickly sweet because it's supposed to be a juxtaposition, and I really, really like it. Really like it. So the world is going a little crazy because people think that Taylor might have just come out, because she definitely has a song about Betty and kissing a Betty. And my assumption was just that it was going to be a fictional story about Archie. Why? I don't know. Apparently it's about a love triangle where August and this and Cardigan are related. I'll have to like listen to them closely together to kind of figure out. This is very compelling, and like I do really love the fullness of the song, even though I am slightly confused on whether it's supposed to be from her. And also James, which could relation to her when many people think it's a James Taylor reference. But then also it is slightly confusing if she's trying to be a man. Not saying that she can't tell Mel's story. It's just, from her, listening to her, it's definitely very queer. But I do really like the story itself, and I wonder what fruit will come out of it, or if she's queer baiting because people kind of love her for that. Yeah, I'm not really sure how to feel about the song, other than it's very catchy and I like it. But about the whole around it thing, I am really, really enjoying this album in general. Peace is really lovely. I don't know if it's as sharp, but it does ask the question of, will you stay with me if I can never give you peace? And even though there's some lines that are definitely romantic, a lot of it is based in friendship too. That idea that, are you there even if everything won't be perfect, even if I might cause you trouble by the reputation that I have, because that Taylor's dead. But she's still being ridiculed. And I don't know, I like it a lot. It asks a lot of questions in a beautiful way. And I love the fullness of the voice that she's allowing. Like, I feel like we haven't fully seen her voice show off as much since probably 1989. And really, that part, like, it wasn't as strong. Like, I think Red was the last album where, like, I belt it to a way, and it's not me belting it in a fun, goofy way, but me belting it in, like, a soulful way. And the hair is done, because this is the last one. Hoax is a weird place to end, and also, there was no bop. Like, there was no fast track that was just, like, meant for the radio, which is strange. I guess Cardigan, but Cardigan didn't fully feel like a bop. Like, the bop is normally what I don't love. Like, I don't like Me. I don't like Shake It Off. Like, I like something like I Can't Be Kind, You Need to Calm Down, and all the songs like We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together. Like, it's fast paced and it's fun, but there's always normally like songs I'm just like, I don't feel much meaning behind this. It's just meant to be radio ready, and this didn't have it, which I think helped. It was a lot more soulful. I don't know if she mostly wrote it during quarantine and wasn't planning to, but I liked it. Hoax, I don't have many words on it. It was nice. It wasn't super memorable. The middle part with, like, you still know that I'm scarred underneath. I'm still something under my scars. Like, parts of those were really good. But the rest of it didn't do a lot, but I feel like it's a nice quiet background. A lot of this is nice quiet background music, which I'm here for, and I feel like I will be listening to. If you're interested in more of my thoughts on this, I can do like a ranking once I listen to these songs a lot more. These are my thoughts all the way through on the first listening to. Thank you for listening to me go on about Taylor Swift and my personal thoughts on it.